sorry I'm a bit late. Let's go through everybody. Who have we got? We've got Inga, Marianne, Louise, Yvette, Sherry. 26 Fahrenheit. Oh, actually, that's not centigrade, is it? It was 20. Oh, that's cold. Oh, gosh. Thought you had warm weather then for a moment there, Sherry. Hi, Deb. Hi, Anne. Hi, Vicky. Anika. Cindy. Beth. Hello to everybody. I think that's everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing? Right. So, as you probably saw my post, these are now available on Amazon. Hurrah! Hooray, hurrah. So you can now get this digital kit on DRK Crafts or in my Ko-fi shop, and also now as a paper pad on Amazon. So I've got an A4 and an 8.5 by 8.5. What was I going to do as well? Oh yeah, I was going to do my my little thing. So if it's a live stream, it will be chatty, and if you don't like the chat, you can come and join us, or you can skip ahead through the bits if you're watching the replay. Skip a bit ahead to the bits you want to watch, or you can wait, and there will be an edited tutorial version coming up at some point. Big thank you to all my members. So apologies if you've become a member in the last week and I haven't added you on. I haven't had a chance today to check who is on there and who isn't, so hopefully that list is correct. Hopefully it is. Let me just have a quick look on, make sure my comments are being refreshed. Who else have we got? We've got Liz. Hi Liz. Hi Sandra. Hi Glenn. Hi Zanya. How are we all? Right, so that is all the members. If you can hear noises in the background, it's just because people are rustling around in the hallway. It will stop soon, hopefully. So just bear with. And then I also wanted to say, hi Anne. How is it in New Zealand? Do like a bit of New Zealand. Also, don't forget to hit the oh, wrong button. There we go. There we go. We'll get there eventually. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And also, I would like to see versions of your card, so you can add them onto my Pinterest board, which is Iced Images Inspirations. You can add them onto there. I don't check it very often, so only please put up pictures of things that you have made based off the tutorials, not just random things that you like or you've seen or you want me to try. If you want to send me things you want me to try, you can message me on Pinterest, or you can join the Reddit community, and on Reddit you can send me suggestions. You can also send pictures of stuff you've made, things that you've seen other people make. You can ask questions on there, just generally chat. It's just a bit more friendly. So yeah, a bit more easy to use. I check that often as well. Oh, hello Carrie. 13 degrees. Oh, that's not too bad. 13 degrees isn't too bad. Cool. So today's card is based off of one that I saw done by, let me just quickly check who it was I saw, because I can't remember the original name. Jan B has covered it since, and so I've seen both. I saw this other lady's first. I think her name is Inky Inspiration. Does that sound right to people? Something like that. Inky Inspiration, I think her name was. Let me see if I can find the original. My phone's being slow, bear with. Where was it? Card folds. Here we go, card folds. Right, let me see if I can find the original one. I'm sure it was Inky Inspiration. Oh, here we go. So this is the one I saw. This one here. Inky Inspiration was who I saw do it. And then Jan B then did a version of it, which I quite liked. But neither did a 5x7. I think Inky Inspiration did a A5 version. It was big. I think it was an A5. So if you like your A5, go and check out her video. I will try and link it in the description afterwards. I haven't had a chance to put measurements in or anything today, so that will all come later. And then I think Jan B did a A2 size, I think. But I'm going to be doing an 5x7. because you know me, I like my 5x7s. So I will show you my unfinished card. So this one I haven't completely finished. It's finished as far as the workings, but it's not finished as far as decoration is concerned. So this is the front of it, and obviously I need to put a birthday and whatever. And then you open it up and you've got this concertina in the middle. So some of you might have seen this. So I've done mine differently to how Inky Inspiration did hers and how Jan B did hers as well. So I think Jan B changed hers up a little bit from Inky Inspirations, and I've changed it up again. So so yeah, so that is the card for today. So it's a bit of an interesting one. It's also quite a bit of a challenge, bearing in mind how tired I am right now. So this could be interesting, and also how kind of rushed this morning felt. But anyway, so that's the card. So it folds down to be a 5x7, but it is really chunky. So if you are posting this, you will need to be paying more. I would, obviously it's a special card, so it's going to go to a special person. So if you don't mind paying it, then you've made this one, Anika. Yes. Have you made it with the extra bits though? Because on Jan B and Inky Inspiration, they didn't have these bits. So these bits are new. So this bit, this centre bit was like this, but then Jan B had a little spring in the corner here, and the same with Inky Inspiration as well. She also did a spring. She didn't do the full concertina, so I've added bits in. So it's not exactly the same as the two that you've seen. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Thank you, Louise. You made a US A2 size. Okay, cool. So as I said, this is different because I've got these side bits. So it's not exactly the same. It's slightly different. Yeah, and actually the centre's different as well. It looks very similar, but it's differently made. The way Jan B made hers, I haven't done mine that way. Mine's done completely different. So just bear that in mind. So if you want to see a different way of doing it, then this is one, not this way. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's different to this one. Nicole, hi Nicole in Perth, hope it's okay over there, but as I said, I haven't finished this one yet. So let me whack that to one side. Let's move this to one side as well, and let's make a start. You like my side bits? Yeah, I just kind of I don't like little springs. Sometimes little springs can be a bit annoying, and so I just didn't want to go down the spring route. I also had ideas for the way the middle section should be, and when I looked at it I was like, oh, I don't know. So I'm calling it a 5x7 pop-up concertina card, which is similar, is pretty much the same name I think as what they had. Yeah, because that's basically what it is, isn't it? I didn't know what else to call it, but yeah, that's basically what it is. So you're going to need a base card that's 7x10. And you're going to score that halfway at 5 inches. If you've got a 5x7 card blank, you can go ahead and use that. But I didn't have one in the right colour. So my base card is this kind of plum burgundy wine kind of colour. So that's that. And then you will need, my idea's better. Thank you, Anika. I don't know, it is a wowzer card. It's also very thick. Yeah, it does, Louise, it does. And you know what, you could, if you had some carousel type dies, like little, and I think I have got some, so that would be perfect to kind of add that in. You could really go to town with it. Yeah. Right, so what we're going to do I'm going to put the scoreboard away for a second. Before we score any more, let's go ahead and add our bits onto the front of this, just because you kind of need to do it before you end up sticking too much down. Otherwise it can get a bit chunky. Now I've lost my pieces. Bear with a sec. Oh, they're here. Here we go. They're here. So you're going to need... Oh, have I not cut a mat out for that? Oh, for goodness sake. Honestly, I just... Oh no, these aren't... No, these are different. These are different. Okay, so I have not... There's something I'm missing. There's two things I'm missing actually here. So I'm going to have to do my front later, but you will need in total 2 matte layers that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, one pattern that's 4.5 by 6.5, and one white that's 4.5 by 6.5. I've decided not to do a... Did I decide to do a... Actually, I'm going to have to stick these down later because I haven't cut my pieces out. You'll have to bear with me. I'm very tight. Like, dizzy tired, so you'll just have to bear with me. Oh my goodness, hopefully we don't end up with a car crash of a live stream today, but we could end up. Let me quickly cut my bits out, because you really do need to put them on first, because if you don't put them on first, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to then stick them on afterwards with your inside mechanism. So let me quickly cut out, and I should have done all this, and I thought I'd done everything, but clearly I hadn't. So as I said, 4 3/4. This one is slightly small, so this is a, oh no it's not, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, which is there, so that's one. This is thicker than my other pieces, but anyway, this one as well, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so then this needs trimming down to be 4 1/2, because I made it too big, because I thought I wasn't adding a mat, but actually I am adding a mat. So this needs to be 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. This is my white piece. There we go. So that's going to go on there. I'm not sure what to do for my front. Okay, I think I'm going to go with, because I've got this green and I've got this plum, I think I kind of want to go, I could go with the foliage. Now I'm going to be covering a lot of it up though, that's the only thing. I am going to be covering a lot of it up because I've got a big massive greeting to go on the front. Oh, now I've got a cat outside meowing for attention and who knows what else. It's really been one of those days today. I might just go with another one of these, because I am going to be covering it up. It is going to have a big greeting on it, so I think we'll just go with a nice plainish foliage, and then I can always add flowers. So this needs to be 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Now I was sure I'd cut everything out, but clearly I hadn't. So anyway, there we go. Right, let me just whack all this back over here. So let's go ahead and stick this down. Oh, right. So let's go ahead and stick this down. So we're going to go ahead and stick the pattern onto the mat. Hi to everybody who's just joined, Marilyn and anybody else who I've missed. Hello to you all. I was also waiting for everybody else to leave the house as well. So I started the live stream and people were still in the house, and I needed it to be everyone to have left, because it's just easier, quieter, apart from the cat, once everyone's gone. So that's my front piece. I probably could have gone with something slightly more exciting, but it's fine. It's quite a busy card, and as I said, I've got a big massive birthday greeting. I spent ages trying to find a sentiment die or stamp or something for the front, and I literally have searched through all of my die folders. You would think with the amount of dies I have that I would find something, but no, I could not find anything. So I've kind of had to settle on a second best, but it'll do. Right, so let's go ahead and stick this one on the front. Oh, go away, cat. Honestly, I don't know if you can hear in the background her little plaintive mewings. I've fed her, she's been fed, so it's not like she needs food. Attention, she just needs to go and sort herself out, really. Oh, shush, go. And the thing is, because she can hear me talking, she could well be meowing all the way through the live stream. So I don't know if you can hear her. Can you hear her? Can you hear her meowing in the background? Oh, honestly, this cat. She's so needy. She really is so needy. It's unbelievable. Right, let's take this last one down. And it is best to get this on first, because, as I said, once you've stuck your insides in, it starts getting a bit bulky and a bit chunky, and then it's more difficult to start sticking things flat. So let's stick that down like that. You can hear her. Yes, meow. I know. Oh, yesterday you found a rectangle die that had been missing since last fall. Fabulous. Okay, Inga. Right, Okay, so that's what we've got so far. So we now need to deal with the inside. So put this to one side. Let's bring the scoreboard back in again. And now we need to do the two shaped inside parts. So for this, you're going to need two pieces that are 6 3/4 by 9 1/2. And you want to score them halfway at 4 3/4. So you're basically making a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 card blank. Okay, so this is where we've gone off the beaten track now. We've gone off the path from Inky Inspiration and Jambi at this point in the proceedings. So now we're just going to go ahead and fold these in half. But I just quite liked the way this worked. I like their ways as well, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of was like, I don't know. Like my brain was like, what about if you do it this way instead? And I quite like it this way. So that is that bit. Oh good, okay. The cat is almost always there. I know, it's just annoying when I can just hear her. Right, so then you want to get your card blank, take one of them, open it up, and on what would normally be the outside of your card, this is going to be the bit you don't really see, you're going to come down that centre line and mark at 3 3/8, which is halfway. And then what you want to do is come along from that and try and make it as level as possible. If you want to measure 3 3/8 down to here, you can. If you want to do it like this, 1 2 3, and line those two dots up so you know you're definitely straight, you can do that, or you can just eye it. And then from that centre line, you want to come in and mark at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I've just got a little mark in just there, which is 1/2 inch in. Then on the top, so this is the side we're working on, along this side here, you're going to make a mark at 1 1/2 and at 5 1/4. Okay, so you've basically you've come down 1 1/2 and you've come up 1 1/2. And now we are going to grab a cutting mat and a Stanley knife, which has gone walkies. Oh, there it is. And then we're going to cut from the halfway, the little 1/2 inch mark, down to this mark, and then from the 1/2 inch mark up to that other mark up there. So let us cut these. Now you do want to be really accurate for this. I was trying to film the video, so I was trying to make that sample card that I showed you at the beginning and film it at the same time as my edited live stream version, as it were. But it was just the pattern, sorting out the pattern for this was causing me troubles. So it will take a bit longer. So you should end up with that. Okay, that's what you've got. This triangle you don't need. And then you're going to repeat this all over again onto this piece. So if you want, you can just draw around the one you've just done, but for accuracy's sake, I'm actually going to do it properly. So we're going to go along the halfway line, 3 3/8. This pencil needs sharpening. And then I'm going to do it along here as well, because I'm going to be nice and 1 2 3 as accurate as we can be, since I am feeling dizzy. Oh yes, Popsy, that's right. And then I'm going to come along here, make a little mark at 1/2 inch. There's no point me letting her in before you all say, let her in. There's no point me letting her in, because she will just cause havoc. We will never get, we'll still be here at 5 o'clock in the evening. And then down this side, we're going to mark up 1 1/2 and at 5 1/4. She's a bit of a pest, that cat. She's very cute, but she can be a bit annoying. Pesky Popsy, that's what I call her. And then we're going to cut down those lines the same as before. She's also incredibly ditzy. Incredibly ditzy. Right, there we go. Like that. So that's your second piece done. So I'm going to leave this mat out because I'm going to need it. In fact, let me swap it for the other mat, because the other mat's not quite so cut. This one's a bit messy and mucky and annoying. Right, so then what we want to do is we are then going to, not sure if this is up. No, it's not. Sorry, Glenn. No, my chat wasn't uploading. Did I see your question? Let's have a look. Was that card hard to make being an A2? So I'm not making it as A2. Mine's a 5x7. I've not made the A2 version. I did try and make the A5 version, but it was just too big for me and I struggled. I think I didn't do a proper one, I just did like a sample. I don't know if I made a sample in the end, did I? I think I took one look at it and thought, let me do that another day. And then I don't know if I actually even made one. I can't remember if I did. It was a while ago that I saw it. Hi Karen, we're making a 5x7 pop-up concertina card based off of Inky Inspiration's card, and also Jan B did a version as well. But mine's slightly different because the inside works differently and theirs didn't have these little concertina bits on the side, and this centre section here is different as well. So that's what we're making, but it's different to Inky Inspirations and Jan B's. Right, so now what we want to do is, you've got two cards like that, you're going to turn these round like that, so they're that way round. So now you can kind of see where we're headed with this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, while we've got them here, we're going to go ahead and add our patterns. So your patterns are the same as what you've got for your front. So you want two pieces that are 4.5 by 6.5. One's going to go there and one is going to go in there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. Hi to everybody I haven't said hello to so far. Hi Donna. I'm missing because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing and check the comments, and my comments aren't loading, so I have to keep closing them down then opening them back up again. So you'll have to bear with, because it's a bit tricky trying to keep up when you've got half a brain cell. I should have had a decent amount of sleep last night. Well, I say decent. I should have had about 7 hours sleep last night. But I ended up being woken up at around 4 or 5, something like that. And then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I've not had a great deal. So yeah, we're functioning on, if I was a battery, like a phone battery, I'd be on about 20%. Right now, maybe less, maybe 15. So yeah, if I make some silly mistakes, you will know why. Right, so that is going to go on there like that. Do you, Anne? Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's weird because I could look at them on my laptop, but I have all my announcements up and I can't see because it's so far away. So I've got a tablet just off to one side and I'm logged in on a different account, so I use that. It's just easier to see because it's nearer. But then for some reason, I don't know, I have to keep refreshing the chat. Right, so you should end up with that. Hi Anne in Norway. Well, a few people from Norway today. 3 people I think from Norway. Fabulous. Oh, sorry Glenn. Okay, cool. Right, so that is what you should end up with. Now, I don't decorate these two pieces. On the inside, I'm not doing these two because you don't really see them. So I'm only doing these two pieces. Now, there's different way you can do this. If you want to cut out a 4.5 by 6.5 piece of pattern, lay it on and just kind of work out roughly where you need to cut, you could do that. That might be quite easy. I don't know. I haven't tried it that way. What I've done is I've cut myself out a pattern template. And this pattern template is 3 and... is it 3/8? See, look, you can see this angle's not quite right. But anyway, this is 3 and... yeah, 3 3/8 this is. But actually, I might take that down to 3 1/4. Let me take that down to 3 1/4. And I'm still trying to figure this out. As I said, in the video I just recorded prior to coming on the live stream, I did it slightly differently and it didn't really work. So when you watch, if you watch that video, you'll just have to bear that in mind. I will try and edit it so it kind of makes sense. But let me just cut this down because I think this is going to be better. So I think 3 1/4 by 4.5 is going to work, because then I think that angle is going to be right. It was just difficult to try and work it out because normally I just kind of eye it and see it, but I know some people like to have exact measurements. So let's see if this works. So where were we? Here we go. Right. So if I lay that on, yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's 3 1/4. Let's just change that measurement there. 3 1/4 by 4.5 rectangle, and then up one side on the 3 1/4 size, you want to come up 1 1/4, make a mark, and then draw a line from there up to the top left hand corner, and that will give you your pattern template. And this will fit all your pieces. So you've got one there, and then if you flip it like that, you've got that one there. If you flip it over, you've got that one there, and flip it down, you've got that one there. So when you're cutting out your patterns, you need to remember you need 2 patterns that way up, and you need 2 patterns that way up. Okay, so just make sure you do get that the right way, because if you don't, you're going to end up with stuff that doesn't work. So I'm going to grab my paper. Now I have already on the back of here drawn some out, however I've now realised they're not correct. So I am going to just draw them on the front and then cut them out. So I need 2 that are this way, and I've kind of got on anyway up paper, but it kind of isn't as well. So I'm going to have to work out what I need to do here. So we've got that one like that, and I kind of want, because I've got things that kind of line up, so I'm going to need for this to go like that, and then I'm going to need to use another piece of paper because this is not going to be big enough to get all my bits out of. So we'll just have to bear that in mind. So that's that. And then we need to flip it this way. Yeah, it's not going to fit. I might be able to fit it in here, but then it's not going to line up with that. So actually, let's just cut these out first, and then we can, because I'd like everything to line up. If you can find paper that you don't need it to line up, that's better. But I'm making life hard for myself. It might be too busy as well, this might be, with the foliage. I really don't know. I couldn't visualise it. I did this yesterday, and my brain really wasn't working. So, yeah, we'll see. We will soon see. So I might be better off with that soft bubble paper instead of the circles on it, the bouquet one. Bokeh, whatever you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. I might be better off with that, but anyway. I shall proceed with this, and we will see how we get on. I'd also rather cut this with a standing knife, but again, why not make life hard for yourself? You know what I mean? Why? 15% battery brain. May as well just make things a bit tricky. Right, so we've got that, and we have that. So let me just shut my thing and bring my chat back up again. Nope, no more extras, that's cool. Okay, so now I just need to get some more of this pattern, and I think I had it out of the A4 pad. So let's just find, here it is, out of the A4 pad, fabulous. There we go. Oh, another off-cutty bit there. That can go in there like that. And then I think I had, oh no, see I haven't lined anything up. Okay, well, let's cut down, okay, let's cut that top bit off to make that level at the top, and then we can go ahead and do that, I think. So it needs to be just slightly about there, I think. Let's just cut that. If it's slightly out, it's not the end of the world. Just would rather it be as close as possible. Okay, so then is it like that? So that's that way around, because then that should, yeah, that kind of lines up. That's good. So then I need one this way around, like that. So I'm just going to turn it around because it's too far away from me to draw around. So I need one like that. There we go. And then we need to flip it this way to get the other one. And at least I can line it up against that edge to kind of make sure it is the right way up. Okay, like that. And I think I will use my standing knife for this because I think it's going to be a little bit quicker, maybe. She says, famous last words. It's a very busy pattern to be able to see, that's the only thing. So from there to there. Let's cut down here first. Like that. And then let's cut along here to kind of make a rectangle, and then we can cut the rest out from there. One thing I did do, which was easy on myself. Hi Marianne. Hi Ali even. Hi Ali. Yeah, one thing I did do was I decided not to use mirror cards, so that's definitely a help. Right, okay, let's line that up with that. And let's cut. So that's going to be my top. And then this one's going to be my bottom part. I can pick it up, which I can't. So we're going to go from there down to over there somewhere. Move that over a bit more. It's about there. Can't really see my pencil lines, but it's about there. Right. Okay. So that is that bit there. So we are now going to go ahead and stick these onto our card. So that's going to go there, and that's going to go there, like that. Now you can see mine do overlap slightly with this new measurement, but it's fine. It's fine. I'd rather them overlap a little bit than be too big, because I feel like my border on the other one was too big. So let's go ahead and stick these on. I'm not sure if I'm liking these colours, this pattern paper with that foliage, but anyway, never mind, we've done it now, so we're just going to carry on regardless. We are going to carry on regardless. I think it was the Beautiful South that sung that, wasn't it? Okay, so that's going to go on there. And then this one's going to go on the top. So I quite like, when I did the sample one that wasn't decorated, just like the, you know, rough card, I quite like the black and white, just plain and whatever, but obviously it's a bit too plain for a finished card. But I did quite like the way that worked, so I might, if I do another one, I might kind of do it slightly different. And then we're going to go ahead and stick this one down. This one goes at the bottom. Okay. So this one goes here, like that. And this one goes on the other side. We're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Right, just stick this one down. I've got a bit of glue leakage, so I need to sort that out. It does overlap slightly, but it's not too bad, if I'm honest. I don't mind that amount of overlapping, and I quite like the way the fact that the circle, little things, the circle's actually overlapping quite nicely. So there we go. Right, let's just cancel that and bring that back up again. Right, so then what we want to do is bring in our card blank, open it up. This is going to stick here, and what I would do is I would stick it in shut as if it's like a matte layer. So you just want to stick that down onto there. So this is why this is not like the other two cards, Inky Inspirations and Jambies. They didn't do that with theirs. They had like a separate piece in the middle that is then held in with like a spring. But I was like, well, hang on, if we're doing a mat, we may as well just make it into like a card blank. So that was my thought process behind this. So that's going to go there, like that, and this one's going to go on the other side like this. Okay, so let's grab this one, turn it around, place it down, there we go. Okay, so you should end up with that hopefully. Two flappy bits. As I said, if you want to decorate these sides you can. I'm not going to. So that is that done for now, and all my things line up, which gives me great joy. Little things. It's the small things in life, isn't it? It really is. Right, so next we want to bring in these strips. Now, you probably notice I've got a slight shade difference. It's because I realised I needed 4 of the short ones and I only had 2, and then I couldn't find the right coloured card. So I found another card that's similar, but not identical. But it's fine. We don't care. Today, on 13%, 20% battery, whatever I'm on, I don't care. So there we are. Right, so we have 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 9. If you wanted to, you could cut a piece that was 3 by 9, and then you could then cut it to be 2 strips that are 1.5 by 9, which means you don't need to score once. So you could do that. That would be a good option. I didn't think of that option, so we have 2 strips. We need 2 strips, but obviously, as I said, it just makes your scoring less if you do it that way. So on this one, you're going to score at 1.5, at 3, at 4.5, at 6, and at 7.5. And do the same on the other one. So 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, and 7.5. So that's those 2 done. Then you need 4 strips that are 1.5 inches by 6 inches. And again, if you got a 6 by 6, you could get a 6 by 6, do your score lines, and then cut it up. So your score line's going down, and then cut it horizontally into 4 strips that are 1.5 by 6. Again, that would make things a lot easier. Louise, you really like the modifications. Your card ended up being very bulky in the centre with the springs and the insert. Yeah, see, that's what I didn't like about it. And I don't, that's one thing I really, when I see springs, I'm like, nah, it's going to make it really chunky. And you end up with all the springs chunky in one place. I mean, you have still got that here, because you've got, but I mean, on that other one, you would have it chunky here. But I didn't like the fact of it being chunky there as well. I don't know, I just, yeah. So then on this one, so you've got 4 pieces that are 1.5 by 6. You're scoring at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, and 4.5. And again, do that on all 4 strips. So obviously, as I said, if you're just doing a 6 by 6, then you haven't got to keep scoring all of these times. So it does make sense to do it that way, but I thought of that afterwards. As I say, I make the mistakes, so you don't have to. 1.5, 3, and 4.5. There we go. Right, so now there's a bit of a boring bit in a minute, 'cause we've got to stick a whole heap of squares down. So let's start with these ones. So these are the long strips. So you want to fold them valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. And when you're folding them, try and be as accurate as you can. So if your score lines are slightly out, just kind of correct them as you go. Line them up, try and make sure they're not squiffy, try and make sure they kind of line up with each other and they don't, you know, go off too far and whatever. You don't end up with bits, like they all kind of line up where you're concertinaing. So like this one here, that's going off a little bit, so I'm going to try and pull that back in a bit and get it to go. You also don't want to go too thick with this card. So when you're choosing your card for your strips and also for your inside piece, don't go too thick. I would say minimum of a 200 probably, maximum of about a 230. So that's that one done. So let's do this one as well. Yeah, you don't want to go too thick. You also don't want it too flimsy, because obviously this is like a mechanism piece. And also if you go too flimsy, then the concertina won't really hold into position. So, hi Nika, don't worry. I was a bit late too, so don't worry. Okay, so just keep on folding. If you are a little bit out, like mine's a little bit out there, it's not completely lined up. It's not the end of the world, but just try and keep it as, you know, in as you can. So that's those 2 pieces done. And then we're going to do the same with this. So this one again, we're going to go valley, mountain, valley. And again, if you wanted to, I guess you could probably fold your score your 6 by 6, fold your 6 by 6, then cut it into strips. That would minimise the amount of time spent scoring and folding and burnishing. So yeah, so let me fold this over like that. So you end up with a little W. So you want 4 W's in total. I'm going to have to be clever because my two strips are slightly different shades. I'm going to have to put maybe my one shade at the top and the other shade at the bottom, because they are slightly different. I think once you've got all the bits on, you're not really going to know. Once you've got all your pattern pieces on, it's not going to be that obvious. I think if you went for an A6, I don't know whether that might be a bit small. I think an A6 you're going to struggle. I think that's why Inky Inspiration did it on a A5, because you kind of need it to be quite large. Otherwise you end up with these little squares are ridiculously small. And I'm not sure, I think Jambi did squares for hers, not rectangles. And I can't remember what Inky Inspiration did, but yeah, you end up with them being ridiculously small. Hi Mickey! Right, okay, so that's all your pieces. So now, I'm not doing mats on these. The reason being that you now need 28, yes I said 28, 28 squares that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. That's a lot of squares. So a little tip, I would cut out a strip that is 1 1/4 wide by whatever length, A4 whatever, and then on the back put 3 lines of tape, depending on how big your tape is, 2 lines. Just tape your strips. Then once you've taped your strips, then continue to cut them into 1 1/4, 1 1/4 squares, because it just makes things a little bit easier. Even easier than using glue, I have to say, because I'm now going to whip off all these strips and just stick them straight down. So before I do that though, I do want to kind of line these up. Now the other thing as well is, if you have a pattern paper, and I was going to try and do it with this one, if you have a pattern paper that you could potentially cut out actual, like get the pansy in the right place, then you might want to cut yourself out a little acetate square that is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then what you could do is you could take your, let me grab my pattern paper for an example, you could take your, she says whacking this in here, now this is going to be too big, but for example, say you've got this paper here, you could take your acetate square, lay it on top of your pansy and draw around it and just do that, and then that way you could get your, so you can't really see this, but it's my little acetate square here, you could just lay it over, so then you can still see where you want it to be. Maybe you want a butterfly, and then you can just draw around it and cut that out, and so then you know that matches nicely, it's lined up and it's perfect for your square. So that's a little option for you to do if you want to keep that template, and you could use that. I just did a strip because I was like, I haven't got time with 28. I haven't got the time to do that. So yeah. So I'm now going to go ahead and start sticking all of these down. Now I have a bit of a shade variation as well with these, which is interesting. But I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to be too picky. I'm just going to start sticking these down. I just think tape is a little bit easier than glue for this if you just put loads of lines on, because look how quickly that is. I don't think I could glue it adequately that quickly, potentially. Maybe I could, I don't know. I just think there's such small squares that trying to glue them could be problematic. So, how's things in Nebraska, Mickey? We can have a chat now as I'm sticking all these squares down, because there's not much else to, you know. It's not very fascinating watching me stick squares down. So how is everyone's weather? We've had some lovely sunny weather recently, which I'm absolutely loving. Loving the sunshine, and it's been a bit warmer. We've had about 16 degrees, which is also wonderful. So, loving the sunshine and loving the warmth. So that's one done. 24 to go. So let's stick it down. Has anybody got any special plans for Easter? Anybody going anywhere nice? Seeing family, friends, etc.? Anything good happening? Let me know. Let's stick this down. On there. And we'll go with this one, I think. What we got? Sunshine just shy of 15 degrees. That's nice. Yeah, I think that's about what we're heading towards. I'm not sure what it is out there now. It was quite chilly this morning, but it's definitely going that way, I believe. Yesterday was about 15, 16, I think. 21 degrees. Oh, lovely. Are you in the Netherlands, Anika? I think you are, aren't you? That sounds wonderful. Oof, 21 degrees. That's fabulous. You're getting a lot of rain and cooler temperatures. Oh yeah, because you're in... Louise, are you in America? I don't think you're in America. I can't remember now. I can't remember who's where. Can't even remember where I am half the time, so, you know. Well, no chance of anybody else. Let's have one of those in there, like that. What we got? And sunny here in your part of the Netherlands. Wind is a bit chilly. Yeah, wind's chilly here as well. I mean, it is still April, isn't it? So I guess, you know, it's fair enough. Things are cool, about 40 to 50 degrees, but it feels marvellous. 40 to... Oh, mind you, yeah, you've had very, very cold, haven't you? So I guess 40 to 50, it actually feels quite nice now. So 40 to 50 is like between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius, which isn't that warm. But then if you've had ridiculously cold weather, then that would feel positively tropical. So yeah, I have to say, 15, 16 degrees in the summer, you'd be like, oh, it's cold. But now it's like, oh, it's nice and warm. Because it's all kind of, whatever the word is. You know what I mean. What else we got? Not so hot today, but you got your daughter's wedding on Thursday. Oh, well, I hope the weather's nice, Donna, for your daughter's wedding. Hope it goes well. Hope you have sunshine and warmth, so that everyone can be, you know, out in the sunshine. Gillian, you're going to Boston via Iceland. Oh, is your husband qualified the Boston Marathon? Fabulous. Oh, that sounds good. Excellent. I hope you have a nice time. Wow, Iceland. Wow, you're going to stop off in Iceland? I'd love to go to Iceland. Beth, you're having your kids and all your 7 grandchildren for Easter dinner and an egg hunt. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, gosh. I've got tape got stuck here. There we go. Anika, you're in Portugal. Ah, that explains 21 degrees. That explains it. Portugal, yeah. Lovely jubbly. That sounds wonderful. What else we got? Louise, you're going to your country's peep show. Okay, sounds interesting. Which is an annual event where people make sculptures out of marshmallow peeps. Ah, okay. So over here, a peep show is something very different. So that's what I was like, okay. Yeah. I don't know if, yeah, a peep show over here means something entirely different, and it doesn't have to do with marshmallows. So I'm glad that it's marshmallows as in the peeps. I know right now what you mean, but when you first said it, I was like, interesting. Cool. So that's good. Making things out of marshmallows. That sounds like fun. Wow. Is it sponsored by Peeps? Is it like sponsored by the company who make them? Or is it just like a local thing they've decided to do? That sounds like fun. Making these out of marshmallows. That sounds cool. Wow. What else we got? Your lovely stepmom will be 90 on Good Friday. Oh, wonderful. So having a family do. Your daughter's birthday's on Easter Sunday. Ah, my mother-in-law's 90 this year as well. Which is wonderful. My mum's going to be 80. I've got a big one as well this year. It's all the big birthdays this year. It really is. I've got so many friends turning 50, turning various different big ages. So, yeah, it's one of those years. One of those years. You're in America on the East Coast. Ah, that's what I thought, yeah. Cool. I thought you were in America. I just couldn't remember where. Nicole, you had 27 degrees. Currently 21. You can finally pull the doona up on your bed. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, 27. Wow, that's nice. 27's well hot. Gosh. That is very warm. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to space these out so I don't end up with all of the same pansy pieces in one load. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and probably a. I'll have to go with one of those 6. There we go. Right, where are we? Tropical, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely tropical for you guys. Vicky, today was sunny and warm, 23. It was second fine day in 3 weeks. Good. I'm glad you're having a bit better weather. I know it's autumn for you, and I know things have been a bit crazy with weather, so I'm glad you've finally got a nice day. You thought the same, Anne. Yeah, I was a bit like, okay, where's this going? Where is this going? But yeah, I understand now. It's funny, Yvette, actually, because I actually was learning Dutch at one point, so I'm trying to work out what... I think I kind of get bits. But obviously it's difficult because it's difficult when your English is your second language, so I understand why you guys are speaking in Dutch. So if you want to translate, then that would be cool, but, you know, I get it. I understand. Your daughter's 18 on Thursday. Easter is late this year. Usually my sister, or me cop. Easter for our birthdays. Oh, okay, you get Easter for, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite late, isn't it, this year? I know sometimes it's been like right at the beginning of April, or like in... Did we have it in March one year? That was a bit crazy. That was a bit crazy. I always associate Easter with April. A peep show means something different here too. Okay, good. The show is just a local. You can see our pics. Oh, okay, right. Carroll County Peep Show. Right, I'll have to look for that because that sounds fascinating. I'd love to see what sculptures people are making with marshmallows. That sounds awesome. That really does. Very artistic and ingenious as well, I would say. So, right, we're almost there. Only 7 more pieces to stick down. Only 7 more to stick down. Let me just do this. Do you get to eat all the peeps after? I don't know if you'd want to if they've been... It depends how they've been sculpted and who they've been sculpted by. But yeah, that's a good point. Do you get samples? I've never had a peep. I've never eaten one. So I've no clue what they taste like. I understand they're quite sweet. I don't know that they'd be my cup of tea. I like marshmallows sometimes, but I prefer them if they're covered in chocolate. Cadbury chocolate, specifically. And I like a Twentyeight tea cake, which is like a different kind of marshmallow. It's like a soft, like a marshmallow fluff almost, on like a biscuity base, a soft biscuity base, covered in chocolate. Now that is my kind of... I know that Sam Calcott loves a Twentyeight tea cake as well, and I'm in that same boat. I love a Twentyeight tea cake. I don't have one every day like she does, but I do like them. I do like them. So, yeah. But I'm not that much of a fan of marshmallows on their own, so I don't know that I would like a peep. I'm not sure. I've never had one. Almost there. I know, we're almost there. See, talking helped pass the time, I have to say. It made it a bit less boring, talking about peep shows and talking about marshmallows and weather. Helped to pass the time. I'm going as quick as I can as well. I'm trying to do super speed. I'm trying to super speed it. Oh, slowing down. I've just said that. But we are almost there. Due to the paint and glue. Oh my goodness, they stick them together. That's cheating. They should be stuck together just with spit and sugar, not with chocolate and things like that. Paint and glue. Is that really proper peep sculpting? I mean, really. Oh, I'm quite disappointed that they use paint and glue. I was hoping they'd stick them together with like icing, like make so, you know, like bake off, proper bake off style. But or put rods down them or something like that to keep them up. I don't know. It's not paint and glue. That seems wrong. We give the kids marshmallows and skewers to make a towel that will hold a cup of water. Oh, no, I wouldn't eat them after. Not if kids have been touching them. No, 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 no. Right, so there we go. I must warn you, I don't really have any decorations for the inside of this. I've got decoration for the outside, but that's it, because it just took too long. Okay, so with it like this, make sure you get your front on your front. Let's open this left-hand side, and we're going to take two of the smaller ones. That's the bigger one. Two of the smaller ones, and I'm going to go with the shade difference, one being on the bottom, one being on the top, because I think that would make more sense. Now, when I did my original sample, which is this one, this isn't quite right here because this was like a base sort of sample, but these pieces I did stick right up on the edges. Okay, when I did my decorated sample, well, more together sample, I actually moved them in and did them in line with the mat, which I quite like, but what I don't like is the fact that this square dips in to that line, so it kind of looks like it's dropped, like it shouldn't be there. So I've done these measurements so that they line up with the mat. So that does mean then you don't see the mat. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So if you want to maybe make this strip out of the matte colour card rather than the base colour card, that might be better. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some glue, or you could use red tape. I'm going to go with glue just because of I need to know I can move it around if needed. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to line that up in that corner with the mat. So I'm going to line it up against the mat, not in the top, not with the actual base card. The reason being because this is, you want it to fit into here. So I'm lining it up with that there. I'm then going to stick this one down exactly the same and line it up with that mat there. Now hopefully this will work. No, the inside doesn't need a lot of decoration. I just need to put a greeting on really. I might end up putting just like a big number, like a 5 and a 0 on the inside. And what I would do is when you stick it down, just lay the whole thing out flat so you know that it's level and straight with the rest of your matte layer. So you just stick in that one square like that. Then you want to concertina fold that all the way back up. Same with this one. Now you can do one at a time if you want, or the two together. I'm going to do the two together because I'm using Yoo-hoo, and so I do have time to move it. I'm using wet glue. So that's that one there, and then this one here. And I find it kind of easier to do two at once. So you want to hold those down like that. Take just this one, and then you're going to fold that down and stick that on. Oops, let's move that. And then what I would do is just let go, and while it's still wet, just check it, and it should be fine. If it's not straight, it's not the end of the world because you're not going to see this. It's better that you line this side up and it goes and it folds down than it be lined up here. And actually that's not too bad. I've got a tiny bit of a gap. Got a tiny bit of a gap there, but it's not too bad. So that's that side done. And then we're going to go ahead and do this side the same. So we want to take our, yeah, it was this one at the bottom. Take our little strip, put some glue on this one, and then again I'm going to line it up with the corner of the mat, not the base. Lie it out straight, make sure it fits like that. Okay, and then do the same with the top. This is going to be very busy, this card, busier than the other one I did. As I said, I can't always visualise what patterns are going to look right, especially if I haven't made the card before. It's a bit of a battle in my brain to be like, what's going to work. So, never mind. Certainly can't call it boring anyway. Okay, so let's fold those two up. And then we're going to go ahead and add our wet glue on. As I said, if you want to do one at a time, you can. It's just a bit more tricky to get in there once you've stuck one down. And you can kind of control them a little bit. And then you want to fold this one over and stick it down. Just make sure they're not moving around. This is another reason why wet glue is good, because if you see one sort of veering out of action, you can kind of shimmy it back into place. Okay. Yeah, I expect English is difficult to write for you. I completely understand why you guys do it. Looking forward to a 2-day uniquely creative camp in May and a 3-day camp with 3/4 design, imagine if, in August, down in Cambridge. Oh, not my Cambridge though. Not Cambridge, UK. Capiro by the Waikato River. Wow, because we've got a Cambridge. I'd be there. I'd be there. My parents live near there, so I'd be there. You don't think the inside needs it? No, it's busy enough. I agree. Right. Okay, so that's what you've got so far. So if you wanted to stop there, you could, but obviously we want to keep going. So we're now going to grab these, and you can do more kind of one by one. So I'm going to just add a bit of wet glue on that, and then I'm going to start over here, and again I'm going to line it up right in that corner so it lines up with the actual corner of the mat. And if you spread the whole thing out, you'll sort of get a feel for where this one ends up. You kind of want it to end up so that it lines up with the top of that corner. So here I've got a little bit of it showing, but I would rather make sure it just kind of lines up there, so when I stick it down, the other side down, it kind of works. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Put a bit of wet glue on there, and then bring this over and stick it onto that matte layer like that, and then sort of fold that down. So I've gone a bit off there, so I just need to shimmy that over so that it fits. Let's just move it down a little bit. Oh. There we go. Move it down a little bit so it fits like that. If you've got any excess glue, just wipe it off. Okay, now I think I might do this one by one. No. Yeah, we'll do one by one, I think, with this one. I don't know if it's going to work doing one by one. I think we will, because they're quite big. They're quite far apart. So let's just fold this down for a second. And then now what you want to do is fold the whole thing down onto that one there. And I'm just going to quickly open it up and make sure it's not too far off. It's a little bit off. It's not too bad. Just move that out of the way, because that's getting in the way now. Come on, you. Let's fold you down. So I've just done the one side, and then let's open it up, and then we can do the other. So go ahead and add glue on this one. Fold that down, and just make sure when you're folding, this is why you need to make sure you don't go too thin with your layers, because if you go too thin with your layers, it doesn't want to fold properly. Now that looks like it's gone over, and it has gone over too much. So let's just open that up. Shimmy that down a bit, so it should be there. Now the problem's going to be, it doesn't seem to want to stay there. Oh no, might be alright. Has it moved? Oh, it has moved. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a rogue spring at the top here. So this one here, it looks fine here, but on the back there it has come over slightly. But to be honest, that is the back, so I think we can get away with it. So there we go. So that is that done. This is a very busy card. I quite like it. It's not too bad, but it is quite busy. Okay. Hi Pamela. You're loving the colours. Yeah, see, these are not my kind of colours. I love the plum, but with orange I wouldn't necessarily, but I actually quite like them together. Okay, so then on the front, I've cut out, this is what I ended up with, a massive fancy circle, and then I had this die, which I think is an old Stampin' Up die from a long time ago. So I've just stamped it and cut it out with a circle. So that's going to go there, and then I just thought if I put maybe like I could put a little flower here, and I've got another one which I could maybe put at the top, or I don't know. So that's what I thought we might do. In fact, I have got that one already cut out. Let me just grab it. Let me just grab that little one, because I do already have Yeah, it's like a smaller version cut out, but that might be alright for the top maybe. So if that's there, I could maybe put that there and that one there. I think we'll just go with that. That sounds good to me. Right, so let's just cut this out. Deb, got to go visiting an old school friend for coffee. She lives in France. Oh, wow. Okay, good. Have fun. It is bulky. It is bulky. Yes. It is bulky. Yeah. Look. It's a chunk. It is a chunk. It is a chunk. Because you've got all that concertina. Every time you see a concertina, just know it's going to be chunky. It's just how it is. You kind of have to just resign yourself and know that you're either going to hand deliver it, or you're sending it with a present to somebody, or you're just sending it to someone special, and so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, a card like this I would keep for like a really big birthday, or like a really big occasion, someone's anniversary maybe, or a wedding, or a, I don't know, someone said it looked like a carousel. It does look a bit like a carousel. You could go to town, make it like for a kid's birthday maybe, or I don't know. But it is going to cost more to post, and it's also quite heavy as well because of all the layers, which is another reason why I didn't do mats on those little squares. And imagine sticking down 28 mats and then 28 patterns on top. I have other things to do with my life than doing that. That's a bit involved for me. That's a step too far. So yeah, it's quite long. Right, so that's that one. So let's go ahead and stick this on the front. I think we will use pads, just so I'm not, and I'm going to make it even more chunky now because I'm adding pads. But I'm going to do that instead of, Nika, can you show the top view with the card close? The top view, like that. So there's sort of nothing, well there is stuff there because you've obviously got layers on the front and the back, but it's mainly here. And then this way round, you do have a bit of a dip here because obviously you've got, can you see you've got all that chunk there. So then when you close it, let me show you on the other one because it's slightly lighter colour, you can see it better. Can you see? So if you posted this, I would advise you putting something in here to stop that from dipping in. You might want to just put something in there just to sort of make sure that doesn't dip in when you send it. And from the top it looks like that. So it's very much a wedge shape. Thank you, Pamela. It is a card you give face to face. I agree. Yeah, it is. It really is. Right, let's add some Cambridge, New Zealand. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can't be coming to Cambridge, New Zealand. That's a shame. I didn't know New Zealand had a Cambridge. Is that North or South New Zealand? Cambridge, because I've been to Auckland many years ago and absolutely loved it. Didn't manage to see South Island. We got as far as Rotorua. We did Rotorua. That was as far south as we went. I didn't get to see a lot because we were over there for it wasn't a holiday. But yeah, I would love to come back to New Zealand. Maybe one day. You never know. You never know. I didn't think I'd ever be going to Norway or a lot of places, especially when the pandemic happened. I was like, oh well, that's me and flying gone then forever. But thankfully it's not, so yeah, you never know. Might make it back to New Zealand. I would love to. Right, someone revving their car. Oh, excuse the revving engine sounds. Have a couple of boy racers who live nearby. Right, that's going to go on there. I'm going to have to put that on with silicone gel though. The happy birthday was stamping up. I thought so. I thought so. A bar of chocolate. What's a bar of chocolate? I missed the bar of chocolate. A bar of chocolate. I was thinking about a piece of plastic, but chocolate is better. Chocolate? A bar of chocolate. Oh, what, in the middle? In the middle to support it? Is that what you mean by a bar of chocolate? I'm happy for a bar of chocolate. But yeah, that would work well. Right, let's put this one on here. Like that. And that one's going to go at the top there. See, I kind of feel like it should go that way, but it's kind of upside down if I do it that way. So I'm going to do it this way. Let's do it underneath. No, I'm just going to do it that way around. I'm not going to overthink it, I'm just doing it. If it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. Whatever. That's what happens when you get tired. When you get too tired, it's like, whatever. Slap it on. It's fine. Okay, so there's my front. And then inside we just need, I'm just going to do numbers on the inside because I think this is going to be a number card. And I'm wondering whether I should make this, not sure. Just trying to work out who watches my videos, especially my live streams. As to whether I should thingy bob. You were thinking about a piece of chocolate to fit inside the card. Yeah, that's a good idea. That would work. A little small bar. Especially if you can find a triangular shaped bar. That's going to be impossible. You know what I mean. Right, I think, yeah, just a number inside, I think, would be good. Right, I'm just going to leave that like that so that then I don't squash my silicone gel. And I am going to, let's think. I'm going to cut out a number, I think. We're going to commit to a number birthday. So I've got some dies, and I think they were from In Love Arts. Thank you, Marianne. In Love Arts, these ones, very nice. So I'm going to use these, and I'm going to cut out an 80, an 8 and a 0. Like that. And then I need to work out what colour I need, because I've got a shadow and an actual thingy bob. I think I might go with the shadow being white and the actual thing being, if I can get a mirror purple, that would look good. That's that kind of purple. And I think I do have. So let me just grab my mirror card folder and have a quick look and see if I've got a mirror in that purple. And I've got that purple that's a bit too dark. Is that a good purple? Oh gosh, let me just bring these over here. Let me just check this purple. That's a bit too purple. That's a bit pinky. That's quite a nice colour. I might do that for my actual, I might do that for my numbers and then do it on white. I think that would work. A Freddo, oh yes, a Freddo would fit. You're right there. Let's just move this to one side. I need a bit of white. Oh, I've got loads of scrap white card. Let me grab a bit of scrap white card. That will do. That will do. Let's run it through. A Freddo in the middle of the North Island. Oh, okay, middle of the North Island. Okay, so not far from. I'm trying to think. My geography's not good. I'm just trying to think in relation to Auckland, how far away you are from Auckland. Not too far then. Middle of the North Island. Auckland's a bit further up, isn't it? Auckland's a bit further north. But yeah, fabulous. I would love to come back to New Zealand. It is a long old flight though, I have to say. It was a 26-hour flight when I came last time, stopping over in, that was including stopping over in Singapore Airlines. In Singapore, we went with Singapore Airlines, but it was including a stopover in Singapore Airport, which is a beautiful airport, I have to say. And Singapore Airlines were fabulous. I have to say that's probably one of the best flights I've ever had in my whole entire life. The food was amazing. The service was amazing. Every 5 seconds you're being offered a hot towel to wipe yourself down, which for a long flight is very much appreciated. And yeah, I was impressed. So I would definitely fly with them again. Hopefully they're still good, I don't know. That one's all done. Just Need to run that 8 through again. Missed beginning, overslept. Don't worry, I wish I'd overslept. I could do with some extra sleep right now. Yeah, you can watch the replay. You have to just bear with because I did start a bit late. Mind you won't see that on the replay, will you? So it won't matter. Right, let's put these away. If I'd have been smart, I would have put some sticky on the back of my numbers before I cut them out. And then I could have just stuck them straight down, but never mind. I didn't do that, so it's that way around, okay. So never mind. We will just try our best anyway. I've got some glue here I can use. Probably use that rather than tape. It's just these little circles. It makes it sort of easy if you've got double-sided adhesive on the back. But anyway. Right, let's just poke these holes out. That's the thing with these numbers. I do like them, but they are a bit of a faff to poke holes out of. Not too bad, I suppose. Okay, there's my 8. And then here's my 0. I expect if I ran this through on my Gemini, these holes would probably come out. They'd probably be stuck in the die. It's just because I haven't done it on I've just done it on a normal machine. And also because I had 2 lots in there, didn't I? So they weren't the only thing in there. And I also didn't have my shim. So it does, you know, change things up. But at least with it being mirror, not glitter card, it does pop out quite well. Okay, there we go. I need to clear all the bits off. Oh my goodness, so many bits. So many bits. Right, let's stick this down. Let's use my little fast tack. This was from DRK Crafts, and I find it very useful for times like this when you have to stick things down with glue, and you need to use something that isn't going to affect your mirror. This is the one. And I'm just going to dot it around rather than try and do lines. We're going to dot, and it's fast tack, so you need to be quite quick with it because it does stick quite quickly. And it does stick quite well. There's that one. And you'll make sure that you sort out your nozzle before you put the lid back on, otherwise you end up with a blocked nozzle. So it's sort of good to give it a bit of a wipe. So that's that one. Let's grab that, turn that over, stick that down, like that. Oh, okay, haven't quite stuck that central, but anyway, that'll do. Where did my wet wipe go? I had a wet wipe. Have I put it in the bin? No, it's here. That's cool. It's not very wet anymore, but it will do just for wiping that nozzle. And then put the top back on. And then we need to stick this down. Right, let's put the 8 on there. And the 0 on there. Okay. So I think we'll use Yoo-Hoo for this because I'm now on white card, so it's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over like that, and that way I can sort of see where I need the glue, and then turn that back and then stick it on this side. Oh, let's just make it flat. So it's going to be about there. And we haven't over glued, so that's good. So there's the 8. There's the 0. Again, I'm going to just bring that over. I'll lay that on top. And then let's just glue where we need the glue. There we go, got all the glue strings, which are always helpful. And then let's put this over here. I'm going to say about there. Apologies if my head's in the way, hopefully it's not. Just trying to make sure I get it in the right place. And I'm just going to shut that and just sort of press down on it and get it to stick. There we go. About 2.5 to 3 hours from Auckland. Oh, okay, by car. Right, okay. There we go. Now I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to put any more on it because I think there's quite a lot on it already. I think those numbers could be, if you had like bigger numbers, that would be good, but it's okay as it is. I don't mind that. So there you have it. So that's the front. Open it up. You've got this lovely concertina. And then on the back, you've obviously got space to write. I could have used dimensionals on the numbers. I could have done, but what I didn't want to do is when you close this up, oh, you have got a bit of space. I just wanted to make sure they were secure. So that's why I used Yoo-hoo. Because with dimensionals, sometimes they pop off. And because you're sticking 2 bits together, I kind of thought, let me just, but yeah, you could have done. I think I would have used, if I wanted to use a dimensional, I would have used silicone glue because that's a bit more stable. And a bit more guaranteed to kind of stick together. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, go and check out Inky Inspiration's video. I will try and put a link in the description after this live stream, and also Jambi, because they've both done a different version. So one's, I think Inky Inspiration did like a big massive one, A5, and then Jambi did an A2. This one I need to finish off. I shall finish off the video for this, and yeah, you'll see that coming up soon. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Whew, I need to go and lie down now. That's what I need to go and do. Chance will be a fine thing. Wow, didn't take us quite as long as I thought it was going to, but yeah. So there you go. As I said, this pad is now live on Amazon, so go and check that out. And the digital kit is available on DRK Crafts and also on Ko-fi. So yeah. Right, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good week. I will see you all next Tuesday. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, etc, etc. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to leave a comment. And yeah, I'll see you all again next week. Bye everyone!